to campaigns where all the information is located on. Agents Document 101. This document is going to basically give you an overview of everything that is pertaining to this campaign, specifically that of uh, this 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 project, which is Nova Merchant Services, which has just recently migrated to Nova Blue Square. So they have joined forces. The first thing you need to do as soon as you look at this document is you need to fill out this form. You need to click on the link. Once you're at the link, you need to enter your name, phone number, mobile cell, email address, Skype ID if you have one. Choose the type of shift you want. We have two currently. It's AM and PM, and those are each 6 hours. Schedule if you want to do Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday. And any notes that are pertaining this, if you have any questions or something you want to ask on that, and then just hit submit. Okay. Once you submit that, then you can go back to basically reading everything that's pertaining the information that I know you want to know about. For example, what is it that you'll be doing, right? You'll be receiving phone calls as a telemarketing service provider. The dialer calls out for you. You don't actually have to manually dial these as you typically would have to on a normal system. The online server actually makes these phone calls 100, 1,000 at a time, and then as soon as somebody picks up the phone, it gets transferred over to the next available agent. Now, what do you need? You need an internet connection, one that is reliable, one that is yours, that it's not going to go off at the middle of you having a phone call and doing an appointment. It's very important that you understand this because once you lose that, it's very hard to get them back if you get cut out in the middle of the call. Now, also a computer. Obviously, you need a computer. I preferably use PCs. Why? Because I know that if we try to use Macs, it can be very, very difficult unless you're booting on a dual operating system that includes Windows. So what I will add to this would be Windows operating system. Okay, so I got an extra O there. You need a headset. If you have a PC and it does not have an integrated microphone, then you need a headset. If you have a laptop and it has an integrated microphone, you can use that. But it's much more clear and it records less background noise if you have a headset. So if you want to get started, you want to get going, you can get started by using your integrated microphone on your laptop if you want, but that's only going to be a temporary thing because you really do need to make quality phone calls and they take you more seriously if there's no background noise, okay? So you also need that good quiet working environment. And by that, I mean not in the middle of the kitchen where, either your significant other and or family members are going to be coming in every 5-10 minutes making noise. So, okay, you obviously need a chair and a desk. You don't necessarily need to have a desk. It could just be a table, but you do need a quiet working environment where you have these two items because these are simply said, but they are required. Okay, shifts. How many shifts? We have two shifts. That's 6 to 12 and 12 to 6. That's Pacific Standard Time. You have a 20-minute break, 3 hours after your shift starts. So if you start at 6 a.m., then your first shift break is at 9 a.m. If you start at 12, then then your second shift break is at 3 p.m. Okay, just so we're on the same page. All right. What service or product do we promote? Nova Merchant Services. If you have a few minutes, please make sure that you go up to this link because this is where you're going to get most of the information pertaining the client that we service. You can get most of the information you need from here. Okay. We are with the Better Business Bureau and we are in great standing with them, which is a key aspect of why we are continuing in business. We put all of our savings in writing. So just go through this. I mean, it'll tell you everything about who we are, what we do, what type of solutions we provide, equipment, gift card solutions, and so forth, online application, all the basics that are pertaining to this campaign. Okay. All right. So you can go through this on your own time, but make sure that you go through all of it so you understand exactly what this campaign is about. Okay. So we have a callback number. It's an 800-679-2858. Please make sure you write that down and or learn it. File, what is Nova? If you click on this, it'll open up another document. It'll guide you through the details of what Nova is. Okay. While you're looking at this, um, you can actually go back, and right below this, there's a listen recording. What is Nova? If you click on that, it'll play back what the document says. Okay. Right now, I
What
can.
is Nova
There you go.
Merchant Services? Well, but first, what is a merchant service? It is credit card processing in the form of electronic payment transactions for
Okay.
merchants.
It literally just reads back.
Merchant processing
It
activities
tells you
involved
everything
obtaining sales
that
information from the merchant,
a merchant
receiving
or point of
authorization
sale
for the
machine is, all that
transaction,
kind of detail. Okay,
collecting funds
that
from
is
the
what it is.
bank which
So make sure that
issued
you
the
listen to
credit
that
or
while you have
bank
that
card.
document open. So we're going to close that for now, as well as this document. Once you actually go through that, go ahead and put pause on this recording while you do that if you're listening to this for training purposes. If you go down a little bit further, it tells you how you get paid. Depending on your specific situation, you may apply to at least one or two of these items. If you have a Mexican account, then you just need to get the 16-digit debit card number on the front of the card. No CCV code or anything. You just need the 16-digit code, or the account number, whatever's easier for you. If you have a U.S. account, we do bank through Bank of America. So if you have an email address that we can just link to it, we can do so and just pay you directly that way. We actually have paid through PayPal. Try not to pay through PayPal because there are fees involved, as I will not be sending through friends and family because those can be reversed. Okay. And what we want to do is have a good business relationship and make sure that we don't have any mistakes or errors pertaining to that. Okay. So if you're doing international or Latin America, you get paid through MoneyGram, Western Union, and hopefully not PayPal. But we try to keep it simple. Okay. When you get paid, you get paid when there's a merchant appointment made, and you get paid weekly. Okay, you get paid every Friday afternoon, and we're in the process of moving it over to Saturday morning, primarily for two main reasons. Number one is the no-shows for Saturday mornings, and number two, for convenience, because in some cases we can be delayed our payment from the client, and it takes us a little longer to get that. So instead of running around through banks Friday afternoon, we may actually just do it Saturday morning. So we're working on that. Still is not set in stone. So just so you know. How much do you get paid? This is the question that everybody asks. You get paid 200 pesos or the equivalent of 16 US dollars per appointment, depending on the type of exchange that you want to receive. If you want to receive pesos, you get 200 pesos per appointment. If you want to receive dollars, you receive $15 per each appointment. It takes 2 to 3 days on average. I'm sorry, it takes the way that we open payroll is everything that is produced from a Monday through a Sunday gets paid the Friday immediately after that Sunday. So anything that you produced, let's say right now I'm doing this recording, it's the 12th, September the 12th. If anything that's produced to the 13th here, you get paid on the 19th. So anything that was produced through Monday all the way through the 14th, which is Sunday, would get paid the Friday immediately following that, which is the 19th. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 days before you actually get paid. So we work with 1 week behind. It's not that we withhold those funds, it's just 1 week behind. Okay, due to payroll issues, timing and all that. So RCC, we have a program where we have an incentive program, and it's already active for people that do normal. Well, you get normal pay. Anything that you do is 200 pesos each. Period. If you do 10 appointments, then that's when you actually start receiving a bonus. When you get to 10, you get a $20 bonus. When you get to 15, you get a $30 bonus. Is if you do between 0 and 9, then you don't get any. If you do between 10 and 14, then you do get 20. If you do between 15 and 19, well, you get 30. If you do between 20 and 29, which is where the bonuses actually really start to pick up, you get a $50 bonus. And finally, only the top producers make it here. If you get 30 plus appointments, meaning you got 30, 31, 32, of course you're still getting your 200 pesos or $15 per your appointment, but you're still getting an additional incentive per week of $100 for the week that you make it to that 30 appointments. Okay, and these are per week. Okay, um, the averages as far as the production, someone that really is just um, wanting to get some money and they put a little bit of effort into it, but they have the mentality as far as understanding that if you want two appointments, you need to put in 200 phone calls. If you want three appointments, then you need to put in 300 phone calls and have the right attitude. One after the other, no distractions, because if you're on Facebook and all that kind of good stuff that I know is entertainment to you, you get distracted. By the time you get back to the call and the caller is actually answered, you've already lost your grip and your tonality that you typically put out there as a greeting. So that's very important, team. You need to understand that your greeting is a major aspect of you getting that appointment. 2 to 3 is the average, so it's 4 to 600 pesos, or basically $15 to $45. 4 to 8, that is your top producers right there. If you get just 5 a day, Monday through Saturday, 5 a day, that gets you this $100 extra bonus. I don't know about you, but 4 of these bonuses pretty much pays my Mexico rent. All right. So if I get 120 appointments during that month, that to me already pays my rent. Okay. So that's where you really want to be. That's your key point. Okay. So is Nova your employer? A simple no is in play here, because remote call center is the client that you provide services for as a service provider. You are a service provider. Remote call center is the client, okay, that you provide services to. You'll be providing professional services for remote call center directly and not third-party client, as the campaign is subject to skill and set and other qualifications. Do we have a callback number? Yes, we do. We have it there. What holidays do we have off? Usually it is U.S. holidays. Every once in a while, if there's a holiday that nobody else takes, then we will still work it, or you have you have the choice of working it or not. Um, if you're sick or there's something that's going on, what happens? You need to report. You need to report in, because if you don't report in, it'll be taken as a no-show. And a no-show is very bad for you, because we put these on your record. Um, every time you accumulate these no-shows, it's a possibility of breach of contract, which is something you do not want to do. Okay, it's not something I really want to get into right now, but just want you to be aware of it. Okay, because if you do not communicate or justify your absence, you really don't want to do that. If you work for less than 20 business days, your last week behind will be held as a training fee. Okay, so that means that if you get fired within those 20 business day period, or you leave between those 20 business day period, any monies that you have back ended that are back held, you are going to lose those as a training fee. Okay, because we do not charge for training. This is a remote position, and we spend a lot of time in training. Okay, a lot of time. It's not even funny. That's why we're doing these videos, to help alleviate part of that. But we still have to put our agents out of phone calls, out of production, to actually help train and to come up with these materials. It takes quite a bit of time. So just so you understand, if you work for less than 20 business days with us, expect to lose. What if you worked, let's say, Monday through Thursday, you work 4 days, you produce 3 appointments because you were really slacking off, and you were just, talking on Facebook or whatever the case is. Expect that to happen. Okay. If you don't make it to at least even the first payroll, then, do us a favor. If you're really not serious about this, just don't do it. Don't waste your time or ours. Okay. Because time is money. Okay. Production compliance. You will be giving a 3-day training and adjustment period, aka TAP. In this period, you'll need to get your first appointment as a minimum to continue on the RCC team. We know that when we get started, we have most of the questions. All we got to do is really keep going at it. This is a numbers game. For every 100 phone calls that you receive, we know that you'll get an appointment, as long as you have the right mentality and you have the focus. Even if you're new, you'll still get that appointment. Why? Because this is how we've done it before. We continue to do it today, and we know that this is what it takes. The only time when we stop having that is when you lose that mentality and you start to think about other things that are not producing. You really got to think about what you're doing and how you're doing it, and where your focus is. Because if you focus on just the appointments, do not go back and forth through Facebook, opening multiple social systems up and talking to your friends, and they're receiving phone calls and their texts, whatever the case is. You are setting yourself up for failure. It's self-sabotage. Avoid that. Seriously, if you do not do that, you will have negative results. You will not have the results that you'll have. 85% of the people that we let go is primarily for that reason, because they are distracted, they're doing other things instead of actually working. If you lose focus, you're losing money. Because that phone call that may have been the right one out of the 100, if you lose it, well, guess what? You're not going to get paid for it. And it's not going to help you get to the bonuses, which are up here. These incentives, they're really good incentives. But you just have to have the right mentality. Okay? Then you have, on the same note, you'll be giving an additional 2-day extension, EP, in case you do not produce for that period. We need to retrain you. Okay? During this time, you need to produce a minimum of 1 appointment for every 5 hours of work. Failure to maintain this minimum will result in termination. Okay? You will be given an opportunity to retain in order to identify if it's a training or a commitment issue. Again, Facebook is your worst enemy when working. It will distract you and cause you to have the results you do not want, which is underproducing because you are not focused on what you should be focused on, which is making appointments. We do not sell. I can't stress this enough. We do not sell, but you do have to have a sales mentality, one that has the idea that you need to receive 100 phone calls to get the first appointment. You want 5 appointments and you need to receive 500 phone calls. And how do you do that? With concentration, dedication, and just straight focus on your objective and going one after the other like a little machine. Once you're finished your shift, you can do whatever you want. You can go on Facebook, go to an internet cafe, or use your own computer and get to socializing. Do not post while you're working. It's self-sabotage. Okay? Get interviewed. Once you've actually gone through the training, you need to get interviewed. In most cases, it will be either through Linda or a manager or myself. Um, right now, I have it set, so it's myself. Once you get interviewed, you are going to be told basically all the essentials that have to do with what we're expecting. When you do that, you will then have to commit to doing what we call role playing. You have to get one of the agents that are also in the process of being trained, talk to them, view the script. Once you actually view the script, you need to role play with them. Where do you find this? In section 3, where it says training, the script. If you click on that, it'll open up another window, one which will disclose the actual call script. Here, for example, hi, this is Dennis from Nova. Is John Thompson available? Oh, he's not. Okay, great. When do you think the owner might be available, or the decision maker? Or are you the decision maker? Oh, well, you know what? I'm not the decision maker. He might be available next Tuesday. Okay. Oh, well, you're not the one that makes the decision, so that's okay. Could you please let him know that we'll be calling back on Monday, the 14th, to confirm with him, somewhere around 9 or 10 a.m. Is that a good time for him? Yes, great. Can you please let him know then so that he can be expecting our call? Great. Awesome. Well, I guess I thank you very much for your time, and I guess I'll call you on Monday. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye bye. And that's as far as that goes, right? But if you get to the point where, yeah, this is the decision maker, well, great. We're calling to inform you that you qualify for a very new and very different merchant program. When can you tell him? Shoot. Okay, sorry. That's my bad. It says, yes. The reason we called you is to inform you that you qualify for a very new and very different merchant program that can lower your transactions rates to under 1%. And this is only available to low risk merchants, actually bringing you down to what the national chain stores pay. You know, those big McDonald's, Burger King, and all them. And we also help you eliminate those extra charges on rewards cards and even those pricey American Express charges as well. Okay. Now we're so sure that we can save you at least 30 to 50% on your processing costs that we will give you a $5 Visa gift card if we cannot save you at least 30% minimum. And we we can even pay off your higher priced account if you're under contract. Okay? We're the only company that will put our savings in writing. We pride ourselves on keeping our appointments to 10 to 15 minutes. Now, right now I went straight through the entire script, but really that's not what you want to do. You want to feel the client out. As soon as he says, "Oh, okay, great," once he's got interest, he says, "We have availability for Monday or Tuesday." In this case, it'd be Tuesday at around 2 p.m. How does that time work for you on Tuesday, or would you rather do it on Wednesday in the morning time? Because that's when one of our field managers is going to be around. You got to wait for that and go straight for the kill. Try not to go too detailed. Usually, people that ask too many questions during the phone call do not end up doing the appointment. So please make sure that you, as soon as you have some interest, if the client's still on the phone with you, then they're interested. Otherwise, they would have hung up on you already. Okay. So make sure that you try to go to the kill as soon through the kill for as soon as they show some interest. And if they start to ask questions, just tell them, listen, our field manager is going to answer each and every single one of your questions. Reason why I recommend that any little detail that you believe is relevant, write it down on a piece of paper because he or she will actually respond to all of those questions for you satisfactorily. So make sure that you write them down. And remember, even if for whatever reason we cannot save you at least 30 to 50%, we will provide you with the $500 Visa gift card. So it's a great, great way to do this because you either get a $500 Visa gift card, or you get a 30% discount as a minimum from what you're already paying, which would usually it's more. Okay, and then just take it off of that. So Tuesday at 2 o'clock is going to be okay, correct? Yes, great. And you're still at 1732 Boulevard Avenue, whatever the address is, and the name of the company is still John's Tires, right? Correct. Great. So we can prepare for you. Who is your current processor? Oh, well, his name is Intuit, or it's QuickBooks, or it's Cricket, whatever the company name is. Okay, you need to write that down. And okay, very importantly, please have a copy of your current merchant statement ready for our account manager so we can show you the savings and point out any hidden fees you might be paying. Okay, Mr. Don Thompson, please confirm that your business name is such and such and such, located at 1780 Boulevard Avenue, whatever the name is. I'm speaking with John Thompson, decision maker, and we will see you on Tuesday at 2 p.m. With your merchant statement from Intuit. And finally, your phone number to reach you on is 732-854-6654. Okay, that is basically how you do it. You need to confirm this number. Step number 6 is very important because if you do it this way, you will keep quality control away. You will not have any bad appointments. If you read this and the client confirms everything in here, if he does not confirm something, make sure that you clear it up because it's very important. If you don't do this, then you risk getting calls into what we call risk. Okay, if the risk calls or disputed calls, then you are not going to get paid for them until they are fixed. When we say fixed, is because you missed something. Okay, you need to fix them because you missed either the merchant statement um, acknowledgement where they actually said that they'll show the statement, or it's because they missed the name of the processor, or you did not speak to the decision maker, which happens often because we get excited and we want to really get that appointment, but we really need to make sure that he or she is the one that makes the decision. Okay, when it comes to this, if they tell you, well, it's my wife and she'll be here in 15 minutes, and you're trying to do the appointment with that person, don't bother because it's not going to go through. If they tell you who the decision maker is and you do the appointment with them, quality control will come back and tell you this is not a decision maker. It's not a good appointment. So you got to make sure that you do a valid appointment. How do you do that? Follow the process. Okay, follow the process. That's all you got to do. There's an actual example of what a good appointment is. Just look at it when you're done. Just copy and paste this to a notepad or something so that you know how to um, make your own. So because once you're finished and you got your appointment, you just got to change this. In this case, let's just say my username is 9000, right? And my name is Deniz Hernandez, and the business name was John's Tires. The appointment was set for Tuesday, September. I believe it was going to be like the 14th. All right, at 2 p.m. He will have a merchant statement ready. Processor was, he said, let's just say he said Intuit. Okay. We verified the address, which was when I said the Boulevard Avenue, which obviously it's not an address. And we spoke with the person in charge. Name was John Thompson, and their phone number, of course. Once you do it, if you do it this way, you're not going to have any mistakes because you're basically refilling information that we already have from a standard um, um, appointment. Make sure you save it this way. Why? Because you don't want to have mistakes later. Because you missed this or you missed that, you don't want to get an appointment, get into dispute for something like that. So usually what you would do is you would copy and paste this into um, into nine. Let me show you real quick. Into the notes section of the client. So 901818. I'm just going to do a test real quick just so you know exactly where you would paste that. Right now I'm logging into ViCiDial. I don't have my Zoiper on, but I'm only doing this so that you can see where. Okay. As you can see, it has a ViCiDial script. It has a ViCiDial and the script tab. The one where you would paste it would be here, comments. You paste it there, and then you disposition it. Once you paste it there, you're done. Okay. Once you paste it there, make sure that you're done. That when you paste it there, you're done with everything. Because the good thing, what you need to do is make sure that before you copy and paste it to the ViCiDial, which is the comment section of the form, you copy it to your manager's Skype. Okay, copy it to them first, at least the first 3 or 4, so that once you get the hang of it, you make sure that you have confirmed everything and you didn't miss anything. So once they say, okay, it's good, then you can submit it. Then you can disposition the phone call. When I say disposition, is basically take it to the next step, which is either hang up and set the category properly or mark it as a lead. Okay, so that's the way you do it. And that's your script. Make sure that this you practice it a few times, and because you'll need to do some role play with at least 3 agents. People that really are serious about this will role play with more than 3 agents. Why? Because they know that the better they get with the script, the easier and quicker they'll get on board and they'll get more appointments because they need to be very fluent. As you noticed, I am not fluent with this because I have not done Nova for a while myself, but I do train. So make sure that you practice this as much as possible, please. Okay. Okay. If you want to listen to some of the recordings, which I recommend you do, you need to go through pretty much everything in this document because it has everything. Seriously. Right now, if I just click here, in some cases you'll have to download. Okay. Once you download them, you can actually listen to them if you want. Okay, not if you want. I want you to listen to them because it shows you what it sounds like when they're in an actual live call. So make sure that you do listen to these, please. It is important. Okay. Right now I'm not going to do it because it takes a little while. So let's just go ahead and cancel that. Okay, and I will get out of here. But listen to all 3 recordings, download and play them. What's a valid appointment? Well, it's basically what we just discussed now. One of the most common mistakes that we make as a team is getting excited when we get our first appointment, and it's only to be expected that we do not get it right the first time. We do, however, need to make sure that we create quality appointments in order to be paid for them. If they are not valid appointments, we will not be paid for them. And when I say we, I really do mean we, because if I don't get paid for the appointment, obviously you as an agent will not be paid for that appointment. Okay. Here are the requirements for a valid appointment. Company business name. The appointment is set 3 days ahead, but no more than 10 days. Ask your supervisor if more than that for authorization. You have to put the weekday, the numeric day, month and year, the time. Validate the client appointment, that he or she is the owner and decision maker. Okay. Got to figure out who their current processor is. And if they have or use someone like Square, okay, this is very important. If you ever hear that name, I hope you don't, because that's where we get, if you ever hear Square, make sure that they process at least $5,000 a month or more. If they process less than $5,000 a month, then we can't help them. That can't be an appointment because they don't qualify. That's the only exception to the rule, okay? Make sure that they will show a merchant statement. They don't have to actually show it because we're not going to be there to verify whether they do or they don't, but they have to say that they will. Okay? And of course, the confirmation add-on script, which is this, which I read a few minutes ago. Hi, Mr. John Thompson. Please confirm that your business name is John's Tires, located at 1732 West Johns Avenue. I'm speaking with John Thompson, the decision maker, and we will see you on Tuesday, September the 14th at 2 p.m. with your merchant statement on hand from Intuit processor. And finally, your phone number to reach you on is 732-287-2468, whatever the number is. Okay, is that all correct? Pause for a moment, get confirmation. If he says yes, then we're good to go. QC will not tell you anything that would be a valid appointment. Just make sure that we have an acknowledgement. Okay, not no, no. You got to get a yes, correct, something, a form of acknowledgement that is clear. Okay. All right. Well, here are some examples of what valid appointments are. Okay. All right. So once you've gone through that, make sure that you understand that. A valid appointment. Here's the confirmation again. What will happen if I don't follow the process? The appointment is not going to be paid to RCC or you. You can check if any of your appointments are in dispute by clicking on the dispute section. If you click on that, you can see that there are some leads that are in dispute. These that are in red are not payable. Why? Because they missed something. Agent confirmed that he or she did not accept the decision maker. Company owner was asked twice. Okay. Anyhow, these are the notes. You can check them out anytime you want. The ones that are green actually got paid, so we got to remove these out of here. But anyhow, that's what it is. The holdbacks. Get them out. Okay. What do I do if I get an appointment? First, do not hang up the call. That is the most important portion of your work, because if you hang up the call, we will not be able to pull up that record again. It's going to get very difficult. What you want to do is immediately contact your manager after you have the appointment, copy and paste it into the comment section, and copy and paste it into your manager's Skype. Okay? Once they approve it, then you can disposition the call and hang up. As it states here, the appointment needs to be put in the notes comment section and pasted into group team chat as well as directly to your team manager. In this case, it says Deniz. Important so that if there is a correction to be made, we do so before the disposition hang up on the phone call. Okay, before you disposition the lead, you need to notify us so that we know that you got an appointment and that you are doing the proper format. Once we have confirmed that the appointment is correct, you can hang up and disposition the call as a lead appointment set. Then click on submit, and that's it. Okay? Call no-nos. Do not suggest that we will give them a courtesy call. Don't tell me, okay, it's okay, then perfect. So we'll call you ahead of time, an hour ahead of time, just so you're ready for us. Never. Okay? Do not do. The only time where you actually give them the opportunity of getting a call before then, it's when you are asked. Just do not suggest that. We can accommodate a courtesy call, but only if they ask. If you in any shape or form suggest it, be ready, because QC is going to tell you, and after a certain amount of telling you, times of them telling you that you cannot do that, you will be fined. You will be fined with that appointment, and you don't want to do that because you're not going to get paid for it. Okay. All right. Do not say I want to drop off information. We don't drop information off. We actually give a 10 to 15 minute presentation as to why and how we will save them money. So you don't want to do this. A very important thing to keep in mind is that yes, we get paid for the appointment, correct. Whether it goes through or not, we get paid. That is also correct. But you also need to keep in mind that some of these agents that are coming over, field managers, that are coming over to present, they are on a commission-based salary. They're not actually on a salary. They're commission-based only. No salary involved. So imagine you driving for about an hour, get into the appointment. The person actually did not speak to the decision maker. They already burned an hour's worth of gas of their time, and they're doing this because obviously they, like us, they have families, they have kids, they have whatever. Okay, just make sure that when you do the appointment, be conscientious. Not just because we want to get that appointment done. Make sure that we get a quality appointment for two different reasons. Number one, you want to get paid. Number two, you don't want to set something up for failure. You don't want to set the person or the field rep that's going out to these homes, I'm sorry, to these businesses to get there and just say and figure out that they just wasted an hour of their time and an hour worth of gas. They spent their time, they spent their money. Don't do that. If you know that the appointment is no good, don't set it up. Okay? Set it up only if you think that the appointment is good. And 99% of the time, it's a good appointment. But that 1% where the guys, you can tell by their tone that they're just, giving you the wing. They're just trying to, get through it as quickly as possible so you don't ever call again. Make sure that we understand and you ask them, hey, listen, are you really going to be there? Because, our field manager is going to be in the area, but it takes him about an hour to get from the previous appointment to your location. Would it be okay? Do something. Just make sure that we don't do them in vain. Just understand that, in your mind, visualize this so we understand that we're all on the same team. We're all in this to make money. We all make money based on what we do and how much we sell. Even though we don't sell the appointment, we do actually sell our personalities to get the appointment. So, just make sure you keep that in mind. Once you've actually gone through the training process, just request a username and password from Deniz. He will give it to you. And when I say he, I'm talking about myself. But just request it once you have finished and once you've been approved. The process stipulates that you've, number one, go through all the training videos and everything. Once you go to the training videos, you will then do the role play with your fellow agents that are also in training. Do 3 or more. I really suggest more different agents to role play, and don't just role play with one a simple one-time script. No, role play for a few minutes until you feel you've done as much as you can with that agent, and then move on to the next one. Do at least 3. Okay. The whole idea behind this is for you to get to practice and understand it and feel more confident about it. So when you're on the phone, you actually feel confident and you actually make more appointments. A really important suggestion is keep a mirror next to your station so that when you're actually saying this, you can look yourself in the mirror and feel confident that you're doing it the right way, and it'll give you a little bit of a boost, and you'll sound better on the phone, believe it or not. Okay. The next aspect of this is basically installing the hardware. I'll put that in a different video. Okay, but essentially it's just that installing. There's also a login every day video which will guide you through what the steps are. Okay, what's these steps are to logging in. As you can see, you just click on it, it takes you to YouTube, and you will be able to see what the procedure is for logging in every day.
Hi team, I'm going to go ahead and run through the essentials as far as logging in every day. Make sure your contact list has no contacts, okay? So once you get
first
this,
thing you need to launch is
go ahead and set
Zoiper,
it to
then
the
after you
side.
launch Zoiper,
I normally
you're going to make sure
minimize
you
it.
go to the dial.
You're welcome to leave it just as it was.
And log into there. Anyhow, that's what this has. For every 100 phone calls that you get, you will get one appointment. And this formula works only if you do it the way we ask, okay? 96 calls are from people that are not available or do not know they need us and are too square to listen to you, meaning that they don't really want to spend their time with you. 4 people will listen to you and will consider your proposal. Out of those 4, you should at least get one appointment. If you're really top notch, you can get 2, maybe 3 out of those 100 phone calls. But in the beginning, usually it's 1 out of every 4 of those quality leads that can and will do the appointment. Okay. Excuse me. No pause. Do not pause, please. Do not pause. If you need to go to the bathroom, log out of VichiDial only. If you're on VichiDial, just click on log out, then come back, log back into VichiDial, click on receive call, listen to the recording that stipulates that you are the only caller on that conference, and hit resume. Very important. A lot of people make that mistake. When they come back, they do not hit resume. And they're like, oh, it's been 2 minutes, it's been 10 minutes, and I'm still waiting for a phone call. Okay, hit resume. If you don't hit resume, it's never going to come back. Okay. Next, disposition to call quickly. As soon as you finish the phone call, don't talk to your partner about how great his day was yesterday and what you did last night. Go on to the next phone call, please. Keep your focus. Keep your focus and be objective. Your objective is to get to 100 phone calls per hour. And if you are like me, you want to get to 500 phone calls during your shift, that 6-hour shift, so you can get 5 appointments during that period. Because if you get to those 5 appointments, you will get $100 extra on your next payroll. Okay? be focused. We're in here to get money, make money. Let's keep it rolling. You know. If you click on this link that says disposition hotkeys, this is the bottom section. This is how you can dispo the phone calls quickly. You just hover over the mouse and just push the button. It's a quick key. Okay. Answer machine, hung up before speaking, not interested, do not call, upset, bad lead, callback any for anyone, callback scheduled for, and you have to set up the date. AGLF, agent follow up, no appointment, lead appointment. That's the one we want to do. Number 9. Okay. Number 9, leads. That means that we actually set up an appointment. Okay. Again, Facebook. No Facebooking. Period. I can give you multiple reasons why you should not be on it while you're working. Primary one is you will not make money. So I'm not going to stretch that anymore. Okay. Requirements. This campaign is only for people that are not conformative and really need to make money. If you want to try something out and have not made the decision to make serious money, please do not waste your time and ours. Okay, this is very serious because a lot of people say, "Well, I can do this," and they have the right mentality in the beginning, but they say, "Okay, let's see how we do." I don't want you to see how you do. I want you to visualize yourself making 5 appointments a day per shift, and that's what I want you to focus on. Okay, burn your boats. Okay, I will provide a link for a video for the statement I just made further on. But right now, just make sure that if you want to do this, you want to do this because you're going to commit. You're going to commit. You're not just going to give it a try. You are going to excel. You are going to be making 5 appointments a day, and that's what your goal is going to be. And you are not going to let anybody distract you. You're not going to get into gossip. You're going to only focus on getting those appointments because your numbers are going to talk for you, not your words. Your numbers are going to talk for you. Make sure that you get the appointments that you want because you are focusing on your objective. Your objective is to make 5 appointments per shift. If you work 6 hours in the morning or 6 hours in the afternoon, make sure that you do invest those 6 hours truly on getting those appointments, not on conversing with other agents or conversing with other people or Facebooking or whatever the case is. Concentrate on your objective. Make those appointments because talking to your friends is not going to make you money right now. Posting on Facebook is not going to make you money right now. Watching those videos that are funny are not going to make you money right now. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of expenses, and I hope you do too, because that's the only way you're going to actually commit and do what you need to do in order to focus and make that money. If you have kids, if you have a significant other, use that. Okay, use that and commit to making those 5 appointments. Because the worst thing that happens is a lot of people come in, they make their appointments, they realize how easy it really can be because they have the right mentality, and later on they get conformant. Okay, they relax, they start Facebooking. That's where everything goes south, and then I lose an agent that could have great potential, but he or she just lacks the discipline in order to make the money. Okay, well, team, that concludes this recording for now. Follow up on the series, and if you have any questions, ask your manager. Okay, thank you very much for viewing and listening. Talk to you soon.